Here's what's making news at midday. Officials announced there will be no criminal charges in the deadly explosion in Sun Prairie. A woman facing charges in the death of a Sun Prairie man has pleaded guilty. And Badger football coach Paul Christ says sophomore Jack Cohn will start for the Badgers in the Pinstripe Bowl.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're following breaking news this noon out of Sun Prairie. Within the last hour, officials have announced there will be no criminal charges in connection with the deadly explosion there. Our Keely Arthur joins us live from Sun Prairie with the very latest. Keely?
Susan, I'm at the Sun Prairie City Hall where Police Chief Pat Anhalt just answered the big question everyone wanted to know. Was the July 10th explosion the result of criminal behavior? He says no, rather an extreme miscommunication that did not rise to the level of criminal. Anhalt said the gas leak and explosion was caused by a crew from VC Tech after the intersection of Main and Bristol Streets was improperly marked. Investigators say the intersection was not completely marked because of a miscommunication between subcontractors. That error resulted in the death of Fire Captain Corey Barr.
Moving forward, it is our sincere hope that this tragedy will result in a serious evaluation of regulatory language pertaining to the responsibilities of those engaged in utility work.
Corey Barr's wife, Abby Barr, was informed of the decision Tuesday ahead of this press conference. She told me she does not want to speak publicly right now, but might post something on her Facebook. And when asked if there could be a civil suit, Susan, down the road, Lieutenant Kevin Kopechny of the Sun Prairie Police Department said that's certainly a possibility. So this is not over just yet.
We will continue to follow it. Keely Arthur reporting live from Sun Prairie. Keely, thank you. Let's get a check on the weather now. We've got the chief. Gary Canulty is watching the forecast. Nice mild day again. How's the fog out there? Is that still an issue?
It's really not as much of an issue as it was earlier today, but there could be some flakes of snow mixed in with the fog. You can see, well, let's go back here to the Doppler track. You can see there's some light rain showers mixing with a little snow, especially west of Madison right now. And that's because temperatures are a little colder out to the west. Notice Janesville's still at 41. Here in Madison, we've dropped 2 degrees in the last hour to 38 degrees, but temperatures are in the lower to middle 30s closer to the Mississippi River. So these are the current temperatures now. 39 degrees right now in Madison. So we're just a degree above our low temperature for the day. Those temperatures will drop off to the lower 30s by about midnight and to the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. The rain and snow shower chances should probably end overnight. And tomorrow will be a cloudy and somewhat colder day with highs in the mid 30s, but still looking for the prospects of a white Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but we'll talk more about that in weather in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Gary.
Okay.
Marshall woman facing charges in the death of a Sun Prairie man has pleaded guilty. 52-year-old Michelle Goss pleaded guilty this morning to hiding a corpse in Dane County Court. Goss was in a nearby property when her fiancé, Daniel Leeske, shot and killed Jesse Faber in January. Court documents say Goss helped accompany Leeske to the shed where Faber's body was hidden before they moved it to a storage unit in Rio. Leeske's trial is set to begin in January. Sentencing for Goss is scheduled for April. Wisconsin Badger football coach Paul Christ says sophomore Jack Cohn will be the starter when the Badgers play Miami in the Pinstripe Bowl. Coach Christ said that Alex Hornibrook will not start due to treatment for his ongoing head injury. Since Cohn will play in 5 games this year for Wisconsin, his sophomore red shirt will be pulled. Hornibrook did not play in 3 games this season due to the concussion. The Badgers will take on the Miami Hurricanes in the Pinstripe Bowl on December 27th. Disgraced Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein lost his bid this morning to get the sexual assault charges against him thrown out. Weinstein arrived at the courthouse in New York, where a judge told him the case against him will proceed. Among those in line to get into the courthouse, actress Marissa Tomei. Dozens of women have accused Weinstein of improper sexual behavior, sparking the Me Too movement.
A movement should not, however, be permitted to push an indictment that is deeply flawed.
This indictment was based on evidence and testimony before the grand jury. It was not based on the Me Too movement.
How do you feel?
Weinstein's lawyers had tried to get the case thrown out, arguing that a police detective acted improperly in the investigation. Weinstein's next court date is scheduled for March. Late last night on Capitol Hill, the Senate approved legislation to temporarily fund the federal government and avert a shutdown. The measure passed includes no additional money for a wall along the Mexican border. President Trump last week vowed to shut down the government if Congress didn't provide $5 billion to pay for the wall. Democratic leaders objected to spending even $1 billion and refused to budge. The Senate came up with a compromise bill to fund federal agencies through February 8th.
Sorry that my Democratic colleagues couldn't put the partisanship aside and show the same good faith flexibility that the president has shown.
Now they're talking about kicking it to February 8th. You've got to be kidding me.
The House is expected to vote on the resolution later today. It is expected to pass despite strong objection from some conservatives. President Trump tweeted this morning, "What Democrats are just starting to realize is that I will not sign any of their legislation, including infrastructure, unless it has perfect border security." There's more to come today at noon. When we come back, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Are you ready to shake things up for the holidays? We've got a new twist on an old favorite that does just that. For as long as I can remember, every holiday meal that I've been to always includes sweet potatoes finished off with some kind of gooey topping. This year's no different. However, instead of serving the predictable sweet potato casserole, we came up with individual sweet potato crowns that are finished with a to-die-for butter pecan topping. To make these, we start by cutting a couple of large sweet potatoes into 1.5-inch slices. We leave the skins on since it makes them look even more special. Now, we coat our sweet potatoes with a little oil and salt and place them on a baking sheet before popping them in the oven. While they're baking, we combine some brown sugar, chopped pecans, cinnamon, and a tad of softened butter. Once our sweet potatoes are fork tender, we top each one with a spoonful of our butter pecan topping, and back into the oven they go. We can even prep these early in the day and bake them off right before dinner. Serve these with your usual holiday favorites and watch everyone's face light up. It's a new twist on a longtime favorite that is guaranteed to get everyone excited. To get the recipe for our caramelized sweet potato crowns, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a twist on a traditional way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. When we come back, we'll check in with Farm Director Pam Yonke. But up next, a cloudy and mild winter day in southern Wisconsin. Gary has the first alert forecast when News 3 at noon comes right back. Stocks slide again after a Fed rate hike, and you spoke and Pedialyte answered with help for your holiday hangover. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
Wall Street remains on edge about the Federal Reserve's latest decision on interest rates. Stocks started today's session lower as investors try to process implications for the economy. Oil got knocked down again as prices dropped to their lowest level in more than a year. Crude oil has been under pressure on worries about a global oversupply and the general outlook for demand. OPEC and other oil producers had agreed to curb output by more than 1 million barrels a day to try and buffer supply levels, but the cuts won't happen until next month. A mixed bag at Walgreens. Profit rose in its latest quarter, but sales still fell short of expectations. The drugstore giant says it earned just over $1.1 billion, with sales totaling almost $33.8 billion. The The company says it is beginning a $1 billion cost-cutting program as it focuses on ways to boost its bottom line. And Pedialyte is out with a hangover cure this holiday season. The brand has released Pedialyte Sparkling Rush powder packs in an attempt to boost sales for adults. The grape and cherry powder packs enhance water with minerals like sodium and potassium that are lost in dehydration after too many cocktails. Pedialyte says the pivot to the adult market was inspired by social media posts. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Let's check stocks at midday. Boy, the Dow is having a tough week. Down this Thursday, 252 points at noon, and the NASDAQ is off 96. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is here. Happy Thursday, Pam.
Yeah, I hope it's a happy Thursday. It'd be nice if the Dow could turn it around like it kind of reversed direction. Yesterday it was decent while you and I were talking, and then it fell apart. Maybe it'll turn around later today. It does have an overriding influence on all markets, and that includes mine, Suze. A couple different news items to bring your way as we kind of keep you up to date on the farm market side of things. First of all, Wisconsin milk production for the month of November is basically holding firm, up less than 1% compared to a year ago. 2.44 billion pounds of milk produced right here on our borders. I was talking on the early show this morning. I wish I could do the math. How many water towers in Wisconsin do you think we could fill with milk just in our November milk production figures? And that's doing it with less cows. 1.27 million head of dairy cows out there. That's 1,000 fewer cows than last month, 5,000 fewer cows than last year, and we're still bringing it. Every one of those cows that we have producing about 10 pounds of milk more this year than she did last. Then the other news item today, they came out with our export numbers this morning. Big numbers on soybeans, 104 million bushel of soybeans that headed out in the past 7 days' time. Highest total for the marketing year, but still 33% less than what we had shipped out last year. So, like I said, although some beans are going to China, the market is really looking at the big number, which means we're 33% behind where we were a year ago. That's why you're seeing corn and beans trading a little bit lower on the midday. The wheat market has actually firmed up quite a little bit. Still uncertainty over how much wheat we're going to be able to rely on coming out of Russia. Not a lot of action today as far as our cheese market was concerned. Again, today, barrel cheese unchanged, 131.5. 40-pound block cheese unchanged at 141, but the AA butter today up 2 cents at $2.20 a pound. So there we go, Suze. I was thinking about that hangover cure that Pedialyte is bringing to the marketplace. Maybe they should bring that early. I still got a Packer game to try to get through on Sunday. I may need something by Monday.
Hey, that's news you can use, Pam.
I'll work it in somehow.
All right. Have a good day, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.
All right, thanks, Pam. Let's go over to Gary now for a check on the weather. Gary?
Well, skies are cloudy. It's kind of a gloomy day out there, but temperatures are on the mild side. As we look at Doppler track, you can see that there are some snow and rain showers, especially to the west of Madison. In fact, you can see those are starting to switch over. Just from rain to snow, basically on the back edge of the precipitation. So as we zoom into southern Wisconsin, you can see that there is a little bit of light snow, nothing really that's reaching the ground at this point, but still the possibility exists that we could see at least a few flakes of snow mixed in with the rain showers. Now, as we go ahead and take a look at current temperatures, you can see that they're mainly in the upper 30s now from Madison on toward the west, still some 40s over southeastern Wisconsin, and because of that, again, it might be cold enough for a few flakes of snow to occur, but nothing that should stick to the ground. Visibility, not too bad, generally around 5 miles across much of our viewing area. Fog is a little bit thicker over southeastern Wisconsin and north central Illinois. There's a dense fog advisory for north central Illinois until 2 p.m. this afternoon. Snow depth, well, it continues to shrink. There's very little in the way of snow cover, even in this area, about an inch or two at most, and that just continues to diminish. The longer range computer models, this is beginning Thursday, this afternoon. You can see the rain and snow showers moving out, some sunshine later in the day tomorrow, maybe a couple of flurries out of this batch of clouds early on Saturday morning, and then Sunday will be quiet, so New Year's or Christmas Eve on Monday, and then maybe some flurries Monday night into Tuesday. The GFS model actually a little more aggressive on the snow that could bring us at least some minor snow accumulations. And then the big storm system we've been watching, this arrives Wednesday, that rain snow line over the northern parts of our viewing area where there could be some snow and freezing rain up to the north and mainly rain to the south, eventually changing over to to some light snow on the back end of the storm. As far as the snowfall amounts are concerned, the GFS model now just shy of an inch, mainly in light snow on Christmas Eve night. But then as we go into the latter part of that storm system, you could see the potential for heavy snow for people traveling to the north and west from Thursday into Friday of next week. The European computer model, this brings the snow to the south on Christmas Day. The next weather system, again, near that rain snow line, changing over to rain on Thursday and then back to some light snow at the tail end of that storm. As far as snow amounts are concerned, that's even less in the way of snow by early on Christmas Day morning. So that definitely would point toward a green Christmas. And you can see beyond that, look for the potential for some heavier snow again to the north and west, especially toward the Twin Cities toward the end of next week. Our forecast for this afternoon calls for mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures starting out around 40, dropping to the upper 30s. There could be a few flakes of snow mixed in with the rain west of Madison. Tonight, low of 28, breezy and colder. The rain and snow showers should end this evening. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high of 34. We'll see some clearing late in the day. On future tracking, you can see just how quickly those rain and snow showers move out of here tonight. The skies remain cloudy overnight and in through much of the day tomorrow with high temperatures in the middle 30s. The 7 to 10 day forecast, though, calls for those temperatures to drop back into the lower 30s as we head toward Christmas Day. But again, just some flurries in the forecast there. Beyond that, we could see some rain Wednesday into Thursday. And again, the possibility exists for some mixed precipitation turning colder at the end of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. Coming up next on News 3 at noon, Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with a whole lot of dog looking for a home for the holidays. We'll have our Pet of the Week when we come back. It's time for Potentially Yours. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here. Hi, Marissa.
Hi.
Who did you bring today?
Well, this big, beautiful lady is Bertha, and she has won so many of us over at Dane County Humane Society, both because of the story of how she came to us, but also just her vibrant personality.
First of all, what breed is she?
She is a Pit Bull Terrier mix, and she was actually found stray over in a mall parking lot not too far from the studio here. And when she came into the shelter, we discovered she did have some medical issues, including some very, very large masses that we did have to remove from pretty much all over her body.
Do you have any idea how old she is?
She is a senior gal, and that's about all that we know about her age. But
she's hungry.
She likes to play. Oh,
yeah.
But what we do know about her is that she's looking for a home that can, first of all, help this large boned gal maybe lose a few pounds. She does love going for walks. But also a family that can understand, as a senior with some medical issues, we can't guarantee what her medical future would look like. But what we can guarantee is that she's going to bring so much love and joy to your home.
What about other pets in the home? What do you think?
She is kind of a laid-back gal, so she would be looking for other dogs in the house to also be kind of laid back too.
Okay.
Bertha.
Say, hey, wait a minute, who took my rawhide?
But
her coloring is beautiful.
She's got this big, beautiful face, and I love it. When she first meets people, she'll have this big old smile for you. And that is something to know. She has a big heart, and you might hear that. It sounds a little scary, but it's really not, because she is just a big girl with big lungs.
That's right.
And so it happens to be a little loud.
She's just expressing herself.
And she normally does that when she's a little excited.
And is she at the main shelter?
She is, but you may not see her back in the kennels because she's actually hanging out with us in our offices. So just ask for Big Beautiful Bertha at the Adoption Center.
That's a great name. What about our pet from last week, Ant-Man?
Yes, we had a little Scott Lang there. He did get adopted. We were so excited for that little guy.
Oh, that's great.
But we do have some more critters at the shelters looking for homes for the holidays.
All right, well, Bertha, good luck. If you're interested in adopting Bertha or any of the animals at the Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org to set up an appointment. You can call them or do it online. Merry Christmas, Marissa. Have a great holiday. Good luck to Bertha. And Gary, final check on the weather.
Well, we're watching some rain and snow showers, mainly over the western parts of our viewing area right now. You can see maybe a few flakes of snow mixed in, nothing that should stick to the ground because temperatures are still above freezing. Here in Madison, we've just dropped to 38 degrees. And as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, relatively quiet weather leading up to the Christmas holiday, maybe some flurries Christmas Eve night into Christmas Day morning, and then a storm to watch Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
All right, thanks, Gary. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here for Live at 4. Have a good day.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.